wind above you is howling, snow streaking through the air, each impact of the dragon's summit, the daggered spines, um, limbs hitting the ground, shake the earth beneath your feet. There are flames and smoke curling into the air. On Summit's back is Ashen Iscariot with his magic pick slammed into the spines and the scales of the creature as it flails back and forth, having already rolled once across the ground trying to shake the soldier free. A number of you have taken sanctuary inside a cave that Sav had created in the side of the mountain, while others are fleeing into the ravine off into the east, the top part of the map. Talith seems to be holding his ground with Merrick not far behind, and not too far away, that troll is still jerking and convulsing, not entirely dead yet. I believe the last thing that happened was Sav had cast the fly spell on 2 people. Remind me who that is?
Bax, Nathan.
Bax, indeed.
You also told them, fly, you fools, but I suspect that they're not actually going to go away.
And just to check new spells and stuff, have any details of the flying spell changed? What's the speed that they get and things like that?
I believe it's still pretty much the same. It's concentration, lasts for 10 minutes, and is 60 feet per... fly speed of 60 feet, and you can hover.
Right. Well, the first person to take their turn will be Peach Pine, and then it'll be Mosriel, and then Squire.
Did you say 60 feet? Oh, I'm faster at flying than I'm at running. That's great.
Less to impede you.
Yes, indeed. And just at a visual glance, it looks as though Ashen, Bax, and Mosriel are bloodied. Alright, Peach, you're up.
Peach has taken refuge in the tunnel in the ice and rock that Sav has carved out of nothing. But there's enough space in there for her and for Sav and for Mosriel, even though she's larger than she usually is, and even Caspian, who is now unconscious. So Peach has patched herself up well enough that she's no longer actively bleeding, but there's blood on her clothes and in her hair and freshly healed wounds across her arms and legs. So she kind of pulls Caspian's head into her lap, and she'll start patting his hair a little bit, and she'll cast Cure Wounds on him. So she'll like, okay, like, let's just, we can calm down here, and I can do the same thing for you as I done for me, and as I done for Salinger, and as I done for everything, as my mom used to do for me even. So we're just going to sit real calm, and we're going to sing a little song, and we're going to feel better. And she will cast Cure Wounds on Caspian at a higher level. I think I'm going to use a 2nd level spell.
Yes, your healing spell will stabilize him, though he is quite wounded and he's deep in the negative hit points.
Okay, so he's right, but he's no longer making death rolls.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay, fantastic, great, because that was only 7 points.
You said you casted it at a higher spell level, but it looks as though it only did it at level 1.
Oh,
It's not giving you... I don't know if this is accurate, but it's not giving you your spellcasting mod.
Yeah, it looks like it's only rolling the 2d8 plus...
Oh, that's really weird. Okay.
So add your charisma bonus to that as well. Maybe you can go into the spell. So it's gonna-
Yeah. I'll see what I can edit to it. So what do I need to actually add to that? So
What level did you cast the spell at?
second level.
Okay, so roll another single d8 and then add your charisma bonus.
Fantastic. Thanks. Sorry, I rolled 1,000 d8s, but they're all 6s.
I think for me it says cure wounds on upcast. It increases by 2d8 for every spell slot level above 1.
Oh, 2d8 for each level? Oh, very nice. I thought it was just the 1d8.
We can use 2 of those d8 rolls.
Yeah. So 12 plus 7 for 19. What's your charisma modifier?
4.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see the wounds on Cascade begin to mend. He's still very badly hurt, but you can tell that your magic has brought him back from the brink of death.
Right. And then she'll look down the hallway, down the tunnel, and she'll nod up at Sav and at Mosriel and say, are we running or are we hiding? Because I'm real scared regardless, but I need to, what are we going to be doing up in here? And while she's saying this, she'll put a hand on Mosriel's arm and she'll give her a bardic inspiration. And that will end my turn.
Merrick of Yorlin moves up beside Talith. His eyes are still fixed onto the dragon, but he seems to be speaking to Talith. He says, we're going to need that man. We can't let him die here. We have to help. And then I think you actually see him glances around, then he moves behind these rocks over here, and you can see him. It looks like he's trying to maneuver. Think about this. Yeah. It's going to move to there. Actually can't. And he's going to take the dodge action for the moment. Mosriel.
So I'm guessing I cannot pass by Sav in the tunnel to get back out.
We can move through each other. Yes.
Yeah,
can
you
pass.
just can't stop in her space.
Okay. That's fine. I'm going to... I'll use my bonus action to do Moonlight Step to teleport 30 feet to a space I can see, which will be on the other side of Ethan. Squire. How do spaces work when you're large? I don't know.
You just measure from like the leading square where you're going, probably.
Am I able to see Isaac's character, whose name I just promptly forgot?
I think you are
Ashton.
catching little glimpses of him. Like dragon's moving around and trying to shake him free. So you don't constantly have line of sight on him, but you catch glimpses of him now.
Okay, let me just measure something.
Next player will be Squire, and then Bax after Squire.
I think that I can't put myself in range of this. So if the spell affects a 30-foot radius sphere, I can't also be in range from where he is, on top of the back of the dragon, right?
Hmm,
That makes
I
sense
don't.
in 3D math.
I don't necessarily. Sorry, where are you trying to place the? You said it's a 30-foot sphere, radius sphere.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out if both I can do a spell that will affect both of us, but I think probably not.
Yeah, I
It's
find that. But,
I'm using a little bit of movement to move closer. We'll say I'm there because if I get closer, I feel like I could not see him. So we'll cast the spell from there because that should be within range. Yes, that's within 60 feet, theoretically. So I'm going to cast, I think, Mass Cure Wounds. Let's see, what level do I want to cast it at?
oh, actually, I was wrong. Salinger will be after Musrel.
I'll cast that at the 5th level. Let's see if the math works. There should be a plus something. Hold on. Yeah, so that should be 5d8 plus 4. I don't know why it has a 0 there. So add an additional 4, so that should be 28 healing for Ashen.
Nice.
And then I can hide next. Let's see. Can I theoretically move here and be hiding?
You can certainly move there. Whether or not you're hidden is kind of going to vary. The dragon's quite big, so you might get. It depends what he does. You might get some part of cover, but I don't think you'll be visually hidden from him. He'd be aware that you're there.
It's also an action as well, and I think you just use your action to cast a spell. Well, for most it's an action, I guess.
I don't think she meant use the hide ability. I think she just meant like maneuver to be in a hidden spot. And you're not transmitting anymore. That's right.
It's because my keyboard died. Sorry. Yeah, I used my action to cast that spell. I can't remember why I'm large.
Oh, because of your because of wild magic.
Yes. Okay.
You're also blue.
I'm blue and I have a third eye
He's
on my head
shouting.
and I'm still shouting and
And
there are
erupting
still bubbles
bubbles.
coming in my mouth and there's gentle music and butterflies around me. It's
Feather
great.
beard, though.
The feathers are gone. I sneezed
No
the
more
feathers away.
Feathers blowing around on the wind.
Yeah, I sneezed them onto the person I rescued. It was great. Okay. Yeah, I guess feel like moving there's my best bet. Like I have 25 feet of no. I have 15 feet of movement. I could move slightly further away, I guess.
As your spell kind of flows around Ashen, he's on top, clutching onto the war pick in the dragon's back and slamming his shield down into the dragon. He does not seem to register this spell being cast on him, but you do see that the blood that's running down his forehead stops flowing as much. He's no longer bloodied.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. At the end of Mosriel's turn, Summit is going to use a legendary action. So this will be Salinger, Ethan, and Bex, or Squire. So you make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw.
I did not have advantage on that.
It's fine. Just take the first. Whenever you don't have advantage, but you auto roll it, just take the first die. I just roll advantage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you make it, you're able to dodge the spines, but if not, you're hit as they swirl through the air, seemingly guided by their own will. You take 11 points of piercing damage. Salinger, it's your turn.
Okay. So spines thump into his shoulder. He shrugs off some of them because he's still raging, larger than normal. Hears a rustling in his pack. Opens it enough so that Vent, what was his name? Still trying to remember. Belt, yeah. So that Velt can pipe up. Can I see down the ravine to a point where it seems to be narrow enough that we would be safer?
Yeah, I think if you basically if you get off the map, there are some cave systems you could duck into that are too small for the dragon to get into.
Okay, within 50 feet?
Yeah, just basically once you're able to leave the map, essentially.
Gotcha. Well, then he will leave the map and duck into a cave with, unless
before
there's protest from...
Because you opened it first, Velt immediately, like, he squints against the light that kind of pours in through the top, and he says, No, we have to help them, we can't leave!
We're all running in different directions, so he can't kill us. If you run out there, he's going to bite you in half.
We can't leave them. It's wrong. That's all he could say.
Sal gets to a cave mouth, stops, and that'll just be where I end my turn debating what he said, holding my action.
Okay. Yeah, at this point you're at the cusp. So your action is held. All right. The frost troll, you can see the silvered wounds that were made by the dagger slowly. There's like an acrid smoke that's coming up for them, and you can see the troll beginning to convulse more violently. Based on what you've seen before, it won't be long before this troll might come back. Squire, your turn.
Before the end of his turn, I'm going to go ahead and use my held action to just fire a silvered arrow at that convulsing troll. Looks like it does 9 piercing silver piercing damage to him.
See the arrow hit him, the creature begins to convulse even more violently before it all dies down. You can tell the silvered wound is keeping the creature down. However, also, I think you get the impression at this point that just silvered wounds won't be enough to completely kill the creature. You'd seen fire burn the creature previously, but the silver is effective and it is keeping the creature down.
Okay. Yep. On his turn, he's going to take advantage of his newfound mobility to kind of fly. He's going to go up. He's going to fly. So he's about eye level, maybe a little bit lower than the creature's eyes, just up in the air. And he's going to move a little bit further away,
Elevated enough that you have a clear sight of the of Summit.
And guess that's fine. Yep. Keep a line of sight on him. And guess I'll do it from this direction. Yep.
And
I
how
guess
far
that's
off
good.
the ground are you? Do you wanna be-
However tall Summit is, I'm about where his snout would be, essentially. I'm sort of like a little lower than eye level, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say 20 feet.
20 feet? Okay. So 20 feet in that direction. And, yeah, he's going to hold his action there.
That's good. At the end of Squire's turn, somebody's going to use another legendary action. Same one. As you see sharp blue tinged spines flying off of the creature, seeming to be carried by the wind, but they curve through the air, seeking their targets. So in this case, it's going to be Salinger had moved away enough. It's going to be Squire Bax Mossroom. So you make DC 18 Dexterity saving throws.
I'm going to be using my inspiration to do that again.
Okay, give it another roll. Hey, good.
God.
Nicely done. So you guys are looking at 7 points piercing damage.
Squire gets stuck again, frustrated, thinking, I should be faster than this. But he's not.
Yeah, and actually, I think as you try to get to you kind of, and Sav, your fly is a little bit like, feels like falling more so than flying. Yeah, so it's sort of gravity, like kind of pulls you to the side a little bit. The feather actually curves through the air, seeking you, and sticks into your shoulder. You realize you should have gotten out of the way of that. It curved to hit you.
Oh, dang, okay.
Baxdemir, you are up. The next player will be Tal.
You can't cast a leveled spell and then bonus action cast another leveled spell, correct? Just double checking.
Correct. One has to be a cantrip.
Just being sure. Point of order. Did Salinger take the silver dagger from that troll when he took off towards the ravine?
I don't remember.
No, he just kind of tossed the body, so the dagger should still be in it.
Great. This is stupid. First of all, Bax is gonna slap his hands to his chest, cast third level Cure Wounds. That'll be 68. I'll do that in a second because it's not going to reflect anything else. And he's going to turn to Sav after they had just cast Fly on him and Squire. Like, we'll fly. You focus on getting everyone else out of the way. We're right behind you. We gotta get everyone into that ravine as soon as we can, and then just kind of like starts gliding crotch first forward, not controlling himself, and he just kind of takes off towards the troll as he starts falling sideways. So action is to cast Cure Wounds, and then we are going to I forgot the name of the feature. Action Surge, and Bax is going to, as he's flying towards the troll, he's going to reorient himself, try and grab the thing by its wrist and drag it through the air so that he can spin and toss it into the fire by the dragon's feet. Kind of near where he had thrown that original bag of troll meat.
Okay. And sorry, remind me. Sorry, what are the what's the thing you're throwing now?
The troll. Bax is flying to the troll, picking up and dragging it, flying, and is going to throw it into the fire.
The troll weighs like 800 pounds.
Doesn't look like it weighs 800 pounds.
How ripped is Bax?
Yeah, he's
I don't
pretty
think-
strong.
I don't think Bex is that strong.
Flavor what it looks like as he tries to
Tell you what,
throw.
roll a charisma. Or intelligence, one of the two.
Chris,
Oh,
he,
well,
is he is flying in the crotch first, if that affects anything.
That's true. That's true.
Sure,
You
how's
can
a 7
discern how
looking?
bad you'll
All
look
right.
trying this.
Bax's ego is not so inflated that he feels confident he can throw this troll as he gets a little closer. So you realize before you spend your action trying to do it that you can't.
Okay, then I won't use my action surge, but will use the remaining movement to head up into the air. I think that was like remaining 40-ish feet, so kind of get, let's say, 40. Yeah, we'll just say 40 feet in the air from his current position, and that'll have to be his turn.
Did you not? Do you still have an action sheet use?
I used my action to cure wounds and did not use my action surge.
Did not use the action surge. Okay. Also, actually, just no, we'll do it at a different time. Okay. Caspian's still unconscious in the cave, being tended to by Peach, but he is no longer in immediate danger of dying. There are potentially more muffled noises from the bag. Oh, actually, at the end of Bax's turn, someone's going to use his last legendary action. Which will be the same people, actually. Bax, Mosriel, Squire.
Hey!
Nice.
Having been shot 4 or 5 times by these things, he feels like he's starting to get a rhythm as to what.
Yeah, you managed to just barely fall out of the way. Whips past you, hits. You hear like almost a metallic sound as it hits the rocks behind you. Nice roll from Bax, so it'll just be Mosriel, it looks like.
Please don't kill me already, Chris.
It's only 8. 8 piercing damage.
Does armor mean nothing?
Talith, it is your turn. And the next player will be Ashen.
So, after watching Ashen mount this dragon, do a barrel roll, it's fair to say his full attention is focused on this. He doesn't necessarily catch what's going on with the troll beside of him. And as he stays focused, trying to figure out what to do next, he's going to slowly make his way down south. And he is going to wait right there and take the dodge action.
Alright. Dodge action.
And he ends his turn.
Okay. Loises.
He's off the map at this point, so he can probably.
Hmm.
He might be in the same cave as Ballinger and Belt.
Yeah, I made the name of his character sheet wrong, unfortunately, to make it even more confusing. Ashen Iscariot.
Chris, what's the state of my war pick? Is it can I just pull it out of him, or is it in some way stuck?
Yeah, if you want to use an action to try to work it free, I think just like a DC 15 strength ability check would do it. Well, so we'll say a DC 20 athletics ability check would. You could, yeah.
Okay, so it's proper lodged.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I think the wall of fire, I think it might have been about a minute since he cast it 6 turns. I'm not entirely sure, but it's probably around that.
I think it's 10 turns. A minute's 10 turns. Or 10 rounds.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was 6. Never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I think Ashen's protected from the flames while the creature's upright like this.
Yeah, Ashen holding firm to this war pick with the head of a raven lodged in the back of the dragon, takes his shield up and slams it down once again in a semicircle kind of around the spot that it's lodged in. And when he hits, he pulls with all his might in the opposite direction to try and dislodge the war pick.
Awesome. So make that DC 20 athletics ability check. Hey, 25. Yep, you're able to get the right angle and pull it free. And you can feel when it comes free, like you no longer have it as a post to hold on to, so as the dragon's moving around trying to throw you free, it's harder to keep your footing now.
Yeah, he steps back as the pressure is loosened and takes 2 steps back and then looks up at all of the people down on the ground. He's like, "What are you doing? Go!" And then he looks down at the dragon and over at the troll, and he says, low to himself, "Zela fi." And he casts a spell.
What do people see when you cast your spell?
Yeah. As he casts this spell, kind of an energy flows up from the ground around him and then whoosh, shoots out from his shoulder blades, and 2 feathered wings of black just whoosh and immediately fade away. You barely see it. And then he runs straight north and kicks off. And having jump still active, I can use 10 feet of movement to jump 30 feet off of this dragon down to probably near where the troll is.
Excellent. Now, I will say, as you're running across the dragon's back to get where you need to get, you will need to make a DC 15 acrobatics check because the dragon's flailing around. You're moving. You're running across the back of a creature.
Ooh. Let's see, I was right there. Can I jump from where I am and avoid the check, or do I need to move to go a distance?
Well, I think just trying to do this maneuver off of the back of a creature is just going to require a little bit of acrobatics.
Okay. Yeah. As he's running along the back of this massive dragon, you can hear him low and guttural saying, Zo Rentha Dorastu Ren Venka Sing Male. And he leaps off of the back of the dragon, hopefully.
19 makes it. Yeah, you managed to run across the back of the creature and leap through the air. It throws its head as you're passing, but its horns pass just under you, and you're able to land where you want to.
I think since I'm up high, 30 feet would probably get me just on the other side of, I forget his name, this guy here.
Merrick, I think.
Yeah, he kind of crashes into the snow right on the other side of Merrick, and then looks up over his shoulder. Says, "We're leaving." And he'll kick off and move. I probably have 10 feet of movement left, if 10 on the dragon, 10 to jump. Yeah, about 10 feet of movement left, and starts running north. And that'll be my turn.
So at the beginning of Summit's turn, I'm going to roll a d6. That is a 6. You see lightning begin to surge along the dragon's spines. It plants its forelimbs into the rocks. It does have to take some damage from the wall of fire, I believe.
Yes, you're right. It does. Or, well, if it ends its turn there, yeah.
Oh, if it ends its turn, okay. Right now, you just see it plant its front claws into the rocks, and it rears up. And you see it opens its mouth and snarls and begins to take a deep breath into its mouth.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, my held action.
I'll let you go ahead and do it this time. As a reminder, because I also forgot, with held actions now, you have to declare your trigger and what the result will be. The old held actions were a house rule that I had.
Okay.
But we're fine for this time. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I didn't do the best job, I think, describing it last time, but before I get into the action, real quick, I took a turn just to sort of observe the creature, like last session. I didn't do the best job, I really wasn't in character, but I just basically said he was trying to take it all in. But what he was really trying to do is observe as much of the creature as he could in terms of its movement, the scales on its back, how its eyes move, how its head moves, things like that. Can you just give a little bit more description of like the creature?
Give me the context for what you're asking.
Like its mouth specifically, like, or its teeth, like I don't know, glass, or they like rocks or diamonds, or they just like normal teeth?
No, they seem to be mostly white in nature. If you're looking really closely, you might see maybe some crystalline aspect to them, just a little bit, like little glints, like minerals and stone, something like that. Many sharp teeth. There's extended upper and lower sort of canine teeth. You can see a tongue moving around in the mouth as you see the creature like taking in that deep breath, opening its mouth a little bit. There's almost like a glowing light that's sort of coming from inside its chest and beginning to leak out through its mouth.
Got it. All right. So, having watched the creature, now waiting for this opportunity, Ethan looks as the creature begins to inhale deeply with its mouth wide open, as dragons are wont to do, and takes aim at that light somewhere, maybe towards the back of its throat, maybe deeper within, and will cast Fireball down inside as he whips a scale around and a fireball goes streaking for that area as deep inside its body as he can possibly throw it.
Excellent. Interesting. So it's a fireball spell, something a creature makes a saving throw for. You're trying to kind of do a precise, sort of almost like an aimed strike. Interesting. Let me think about sort of how to... Okay, let's do this. I'm going to have you... Oh, interesting. You're using an item to do this, right? Tell us a little bit about the item.
The item is called the Scale of Blackwing. It's looks old, looks quite old, like it maybe have come from an inquisitor of some sort. It's sort of crescent shaped in my mind and dark. Let's see. The scale is encrusted with the red sands of the desert of Kakran. Yeah, it's just
So yeah, the deserts of Karakon. Okay.
Karakon.
Let's do this. I'm going to give you... You can choose between, I think, wisdom or charisma. Either one's fine. To make this precise called shot, you'll make a DC 18 ability check with either of those. Either of those. Your choice. If you fail that, I think, let's say, if you make it, you land the fireball right in the creature's mouth as it's breathing in to do this breath, starting this breath weapon. If you fail it, the creature will have advantage on its saving throw against your spell.
All right.
Hey, there you go. You made it. So this fireball launches forward as the dragon's breathing in. Right, so you manage to get past the teeth into the mouth. Boom! There's an explosion of fire that erupts outward. The creature immediately, its head sort of veered off to the side. And there's a blast of... there's a blast of cold and lightning that pours out, cutting into the rocks. Cutting into the rocks of the cliffside nearby. Go ahead and roll damage for the spell.
It didn't give me the option to do damage, so I guess I'll just roll that. 1 sec. Oh, not the best rolls, but looks like 21 damage, 21 fire damage.
Because it's sort of inside its body, we're going to do Constitution instead of Dexterity for its save, which is better and worse.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
Oh, 13 for deck. But yeah, it's a dex save of 13, so I imagine the Constitution's probably the same.
Okay, so it'll take half damage. The creature is quite strong, but you did manage to disrupt its breath weapon. Nicely done. Rocks kind of pour down, snow and debris coming down, not harmlessly, but notably, across Merrick and Ashen backs Mossreal. And sorry, what was the damage again?
21, so half would be 10. Unless you round up, which is 11.
No. Oh, yeah, no. I think we'd figured out last time we're rounding down for everything.
Okay, so 10.
Weird point of order. I maybe I'm misreading it. Did the dragon roll a natural 1? Because it's 1 plus 17 for a total of 18.
Oh, it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that doesn't do anything.
We don't do critical
Those are house
anymore.
rules.
Oh, that's right. That was a house rule, wasn't it? Never mind.
There's so many things that could have potentially gone right. That didn't. No, all right.
Wait, crit fails are house rules?
So there's an effect. They're just automatic failures in the regular rolls.
It cuts both ways, though. I rolled a 1 on my save on the dragon roll, and
All right. Well, since watching as it happens, I guess the fire erupting in its mouth and seeing the results, Ethan kind of swears under his breath, thinking that he'd made the shot, but just like fuck.
As the dragon slowly, there's flames and blue energy kind of leaking out from the dragon's mouth. Its breath weapon for the turn ruined. As it slowly recovers from that, there's a snarl, and it starts pounding, moving forward. So that was the beginning of its turn.
Sen's here to play the dragon.
It did a little two-step.
Yeah. It's beginning to climb up over these rocks. And the first person there is actually Merrick. And so the creature lashes out with a bite on its rampage. It looks like it's moving northward along the ravine.
Would it be Merrick or would it be Bax? Because Bax was kind of floating 40 feet in the air, slightly above it.
Tell you what, that's a good point. Let's roll a die. Because Bax is a little more of a tempting thing. We'll say 1 or 2 is Bax, 3 or 4 is Merrick. It's going to be Bax, in fact. Yeah, so the creature just moves over Merrick, straight for Bax there in the air. So Summit is going to lash out with a bite at Bax. Seemingly with the intention of just plowing forward, moving farther into the ravine. It's a 28.
That'll hit. That'll hit. That'll hit.
You're looking at 97 points. Piercing damage as the creature chomps onto you.
I mean, Bax is down.
Okay. Why did it report? Huh. It's like extra abilities with that attack that it didn't. There we go. Okay, so as you're reduced to 0 hit points, you'll automatically fail this strength saving throw. So the creature takes you into its jaws and just hurls you and slams you into the rocks. I suppose you're technically still flying because you didn't cast the spell. So as you smash into the rocks, you kind of lightly drift off of them, not even falling to the ground, but just floating in the air. The creature continues its movement, moving northward. So it's looming over Ashen, I think, as it finishes its turn.
I know, like, he's going over the rock. He's still technically in the wall of fire, right?
Yes. So yes, his body's still in the wall of fire, and he does have to save against it. Is that
Just
a
to
dex?
come
Is that a dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
I think that's a failure against your DC 17. So
Is there a reason it does a +0 at the end every time?
It looks like it's rolling 5d8 plus 0. You have a +0 there for modifier, which might just be included in everything.
When you fix on the sheet where Pris, shared the screenshot, should automatically change to be the correct modifier.
You're talking
Or you
about
can just manually do it for now, but yeah, we can fix that later.
Is Wall of Fire supposed to add a modifier, or is it just the 5d8?
It's just part of the spell, right?
because my modifier is set to charisma.
Not every spell adds your modifier to damage. It'll say specifically in Wall of Fire.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it looks as though Wall of Fire just does 5d8 without a modifier. So is that 16 fire damage? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So, yeah, you can see char along the underside of the creature's body and smoke from the flames rising up behind its wings, getting blown. Sav, your turn.
But was he just standing on Merrick then? Did you trample over him?
Merrick's kind of was behind the rocks. So it looked like he was about to try to climb the rocks, and the creature just going over the rocks. So he's literally just like under where the creature is.
All right. I think from Sal's perspective, in the mouth of this tunnel, if this rock here is accurate, all they're hearing is a bunch of screams, roars, and fireball sounds. So,
Yeah, you just see like a flash of blue and then a flash of red.
so they're gonna pop out to. What can they see from here?
I think if you peeking around that corner, you have a pretty good perspective on the bottom.
Basically, can I see Bax's broken body floating in the air?
Yes.
Okay. They pop out, take a look around, swear loudly and creatively in a way that I am not equipped to do particularly, and a bunch of people still standing around and not moving anywhere, and they're basically bawling at the top of their lungs. Why the fuck are you not running? And then throws a hand out towards. Bax still counts as a creature right now, right?
Yes, still a creature.
Okay. They're going to cast a Vortex Warp on his body and will teleport him. I assume there's no resistance against this. Into the cave, basically next to the other unconscious person that they're collecting here.
No, I resist.
Hush, you're dead.
So yeah. So it's still well within the ranges for that.
Okay, yeah, and he can definitely choose to fail. I actually can't click on Bax. Bax, you'll have to move yourself. Because the creature square is so big.
Is that where you're moving me?
Yes. So I assume they can see Ashen. They cannot see Merrick. Is he hidden behind?
I think you actually can see Merrick. Yeah, you can see the creatures coming over the rocks. Merrick's like looking upward. He's got his sword in his hand.
Unfortunately, not a lot else I can do.
Just out of curiosity, what does Peach see as Bax appears there with Caspian?
He might still be floating a little bit above the ground. So there's this. All of a sudden, there's this bright rotating spot of light, pool of light that starts on the ground, and then it basically regurgitates up this spiraling mass of golden lines, which then falls off, flakes off to reveal a very bloody, broken mess of a dude who's kind of, I guess, prone or whatever position that he was lying on. He slumps a little bit more as the air is shaped slightly, or the matter around here is shaped slightly differently. And looks very unconscious.
So it's Sav's turn.
And I think I don't know too much. This one's going, the little cannon's going to move north a teeny bit. And I guess, yeah. Oh, actually, no. So for whatever it's worth, I think Sab is going to shove Mossrail away a little bit north. Just trying to push her to leave because she still looks pretty bad right now. And, yeah, so they feel like the gravity around them lurching and pulling them northward, so they're going to telekinetically shove them 5 feet north. That's it. Oh, wait, they're going to move back into the cave. And that's it.
And Summit's going to use a legendary action.
Actually, I think they're going to retreat and stand over or push Bax's body to the side a little bit, since he's still incapacitated, so I can occupy the same space, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, they're going to retreat a bit further into the mouth of the cave.
Stack them on top of Caspian.
He's floating.
Stacks
Yeah.
on stacks on stacks.
Yeah, maybe I will do that.
Bring out your dead.
Stacks of injured boys.
Yes, indeed. Interesting. Who's it gonna be? I think they're about the same. Yeah, they're essentially the same distance. So 1 or 2 is Talith, 3 or 4 is Ashen. So Squire, Mossrail, Ashen, DC 18 dexterity saving throws, please. As again, more of those daggered spines go flying through the air, curving on the wind as they're riding them. A couple of them hitting the ground near you, and then one of them seeking you directly.
I was reminded I have a bardic inspiration, so I rolled that.
Excellent.
Oh, thank God.
Which makes you succeed. All of you succeeded. None of you take any damage. As, daggered spines are sticking in the ground near you, sending tufts of snow into the.
How big are these daggered spines?
About 6 inches long.
And they just stay stuck there? They don't like dissipate or anything?
For the moment. Okay, Peach Pie, it's your turn. Mossrail will be the next player character.
Peach looks up as the network of golden webbing just drops back in the air. And she'll look up from where she's been looking down at Caspian, trying to examine his wounds, figure what to do next. And she sees, oh my, this boy's even worse then. What? Sav, you gotta stop bringing injured boys in here. And then she will cast Cure Wounds on Vax.
When they stop injuring themselves.
We're supposed to be running, right? We can't just be injured.
Never.
Yeah, that'll be Peach's whole turn. We'll do that. And she'll continue to gripe.
At the end of Peach's turn, this time we'll do Talith instead of Ashen. But Squire, Mossrail, Talith, DC 18, dexterity saving throw.
All right, I added my things properly, and I upcast. I don't know why it's still telling I'm only rolling 1d8. Because I thought I fixed the spellcasting modifier.
Had the same issue earlier when I had upcast Cure Wounds on myself. You're just going to have to do it however more times you're supposed to.
Yeah, I think we're just having some problems with these character sheets right now.
No problem. I'm just trying to think. So if I cast it at 3rd level, then it's 2, 4, 6, 6 to 8.
Yeah, so you'll need to click it 2 more times at least.
It's nice they really made Cure Wounds stronger.
Yeah. I'm going to roll 5d8. Or 4d8 over here.
Sounds good. Did they do the same thing for Healing Word, or is it the same? Interesting.
2d4 now.
Yeah. So maybe they felt the same way about healing that I felt about it.
24. Plus my spellcasting modifier, which is actually 9. So 24 plus 6 plus 3, 33 points.
I don't think your spellcasting modifier is 9. Your proficiency bonus is probably in there as well.
Okay.
So you just want the ability.
Okay. Then it's 5. Yes.
And so what's your total?
18 plus 6, 24 plus 5, 29.
Okay, awesome. And that's on backs, right?
Yes, that's on backs.
Backs. Is there a response?
Kind of quietly opens one eye with a pained groan.
Yeah.
The boy is not only stable but is up.
As you open your eye, you're not sure if you're facing up or down, but you see Caspian, his face almost angelic in his state of near death.
Oh, this must be it. These are the pearly gates.
So,
Can Peach say a sassy remark?
yeah,
Or-
of course, please.
Like,
It's your turn.
whack back and say, I healed you up, not him. Eyes up, lad.
You're gonna have to flip me over.
Excellent. Okay, so saving throws for Mosriel Squire Talith. Those happen?
Mm-hmm. Unless I had to roll it again. But
You had to roll it again. Yeah, there's another one coming.
you're literally trying to kill me, Chris.
It might happen tonight. Hey, you made
His
it!
turn.
So I think you guys are fine except for Talith. Talith, you're looking at 11 piercing damage. It's one of these spines catches you in the shoulder.
Okay, and so he's got the resistance from the dodge action. We said that's rounding down, right?
Oh, dodge action gives you advantage on your saving throw, not resistance.
It says it gives me. Hang on.
Oh, maybe they changed it. Yeah, read it.
No, it's because of the shield. When he takes a dodge action with his shield, he gets resistance to all damage.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Well,
Would he
so then it
also-
gets
Wait.
both, right?
Yeah, it would give both, but are you sure it gives you resistance? Let me see the shield again. Yeah, only from area of effect spells. This is specifically targeting you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. And so the dodge action itself just does what again?
That'll actually give you advantage on dexterity saving throws, so you do get to roll your saving throw again.
Okay.
Not quite. Yeah, so you will take that 11 points of piercing damage. It's one of those spines
Gotcha.
that does clip your shoulder. But remember, I think you do have temporary hit points.
I have exactly 11 temporary hit points.
Perfect.
Nice.
Merrick, pressed up against the rock wall there beneath Summit. He looks and you can see the dragon fixing its gaze onto Ashen. Ashen, you probably just barely hear, "Damn beast." And he thrusts his sword upward at the creature.
I threw myself into his mouth for him. Why didn't he run?
Oh, where he would run to is a little questionable right now. He's kind of like... Oh, a critical strike.
Never mind. Go, Merrick, go.
Well, he'll die a hero.
Oh.
He'll still die, but it'll be very heroic.
Oh, yeah. The thing that I kind of been forgetting to do, but we'll play now. When Summit takes damage, he does take 10 damage less.
Does that have a minimum of 1?
It does not. He can, in fact, take 0 damage.
Is he wearing any fancy rings or like bangles that seem like it's doing this?
It's jewelry. Yeah, so down below, you see Merrick shove his sword upward, piercing in to the creature, and there's a pained roar, actually, from Summit as this critical strike hits him, softer underside. His head, he rears back a bit, his attention actually waning from Ashen, and moving down to Merrick beneath him. Mossrail, your turn.
Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm using my bonus action to heal myself.
Smart.
I am using Healing Word at the 7th level. We'll see if this works. I pushed the button. It didn't do anything?
Not yet. See if there might be a pop-up on your screen somewhere that's asking you, like, to upcast or something.
It already did. And I said, yes, this one, please. Okay, that's fine. That's going to be 14d4, I believe.
14d4 plus your spell modifier.
Plus 4.
Nice.
So that'll give me 38 hit points back, which is great. And I'm going to... so if I use my action to dash, then I can move 40 feet. And I think... I think I want to move, like, to the upper right of the map, which will theoretically put me around the corner of this cliff that's in our vision. Does that make sense to you? You know it's there. I don't.
Yeah, you can do that. If you want to just move off up there, you can choose to like move into the caves and leave the combat, which will make you safe. If you
There's caves over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will go into the caves.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Mossrail makes it running north, as people have shouted, ducking into the caves. It seemed to be potentially too small for the dragon to fit. So you've removed yourself from the combat, but you are now safe. You will not take damage from area attacks going that direction. At the end of Mossrail's turn, Summit's going to use legendary action. So it'll be Squire, Ashen, Talith. DC 18 dexterity saving throws, please. Just need Squire.
I'll roll for it in 1 second. Sorry, I had to step away. I'll just tell me what the damage is. I'll roll for it in a second.
Yeah, base damage, you're looking at 15. So Ashen and Talth will take that. You just make your roll when you get back, Squire. Salinger, you're standing at the cusp of you're currently still under threat. You can choose to go into the caves if you would like to, or to stay on the battlefield. Vint Belt stares up at you with bleeding eyes. You have to help them.
I sent you a message for the held action, just as a heads up. Sal lets out an audible sigh. A wave of blue energy washes across him. There's a faint wing beat audible to Velt in the distance. And he'll run back towards to try and save Velt's friends. I told him I'd save you. You have to live first.
There's a whip of something colored in the air through the fog. What do people see?
There is a very large, feathered reptilian creature that just clears through the sky, just over that cliff's edge. Within range, I'm hoping, if I did my math right, of Ashen or Merrick, as it just perches when the turn begins.
You would have control, so you can move Poppy to where you'd like to. There's a neat trick. If you need to have Poppy change direction that she's facing, you can, I think you can right-click and flip horizontal.
Gotcha. So Poppy is just going to charge and kind of shovel push under Merrick to try and get him onto her back.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to resist that. You see him kind of press against the rocks looking for some chance for escape, so as this creature comes in and scoops up under him, if at first he flinches, like this thing might bite him, he doesn't know what it is. But as it goes low and kind of scoops under, he's lifted up, he wide-eyed grabs onto others.
There's a slight aura of cold, little burst of frost coming off of Poppy's feathered wings. It slides as Merrick rolls onto her back, flexes one good time, and then sprints towards Sal, who's sprinting to meet, standing between Merrick and Poppy and the dragon. Poppy's got 40 feet of movement. I'm assuming that wasn't an action taken. Could it be a dash, or is she only moving 40 from there?
I think she'll be limited to 40 after that.
Okay.
It's a good move here. I'll move back.
And Sal's got 50 feet of movement, so I should be able to clear just in front of him.
Okay. Do you still have Velt in your bag?
No, when he shrugged inside, he just dropped his bag off of his shoulder, saying that I promised to save you first. before he ran forward.
Yeah, just place yourself where you would like to be.
That last round of spines when they struck Ashen did bloody him again. Just FYI for everyone.
All right, and then Sal will hold his action, slamming his hammer against the nearest rock or cliffside, trying to make it ring out to catch the big beast's attention if possible. And the held action will be if it becomes within range.
The frost troll convulsing still on the ground, but kept subdued by the silver arrow. Squire, your turn.
Seeing how close Ashen is, watching as Mir rides away on a creature he hasn't seen ever, probably before in his life. He looks at Ashen and the creature hovering over him, and he just takes out his bow and takes aim, and is going to try to fire a silvered arrow shot to hopefully piss off and distract this creature. Sorry.
Is that 18 to hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that includes your bonuses. Yeah, you fire that arrow, it sails through the air, just bounces off the creature's thick hide. No effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just kind of curses, and then he's gonna fly up 60 feet onto the ledge up there. Sort of a little bit out of the immediate line of sight of the creature.
Okay, I'll put you up there.
Okay.
Or what are you? So okay, you're trying to be hidden, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tuck you into those rocks.
That sounds good. This is the oh, I keep forgetting this. Yeah, I'm gonna take one more shot with before I fly away. I'll take one more shot with a regular arrow, just out of spite.
Yeah.
Is that alright?
Give it a shot.
Nope, also misses, and he's just like, he sort of shakes his hands as if maybe the cold is biting and throwing off his aim.
Sun is in your eyes a little bit too.
Yeah. Flies out of sight, out of line of sight.
Alright. Backs to
End of
Mir.
turn.
Doing a quick scan of the small space that we're in, he zips off to fight the dragon. No. No. Scans the environment, sees the small space that they're in, sees the opening that Sav had created earlier, and mist begins to pour out of his eye as like the mist begins to pour and fall to the ground as it becomes almost wet and begins to spread like a growing puddle, and the starry night, cosmic sky looking water begins to spread across the floor of the cave, and kind of begins to blend in with the snow as he casts Pass Without Trace on everyone, and just kind of looks to Sav and says, "We can fit maybe one more in here, but you're gonna have to hide that entrance from this thing, or we're not gonna make it." And that'll be his turn.
Wasriel, within the caves, there's a bag. It's moving of its own accord. You can hear muffled noises from inside. But you're too focused. Talith.
There's somebody underneath the dragon, right?
There was. Merrick was down there, pressing up against the rock, stabbed up at the creature, actually getting in a deep wound with his sword. But then a creature appeared, almost like another dragon, feathered, but differently colored. It swooped in as though it was going to attack Merrick. I think actually Merrick probably took a swing at it with his sword, but it ducked under. And like scooped him up, like going between his legs and like in carrying him kind of forward. He's grabbed onto it and it took off in a sprint heading north.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see. In that case, sorry, I've got a lot of things pulled up here. Okay. Talith is going to cast Find Steed.
Tell us what we see.
So, what happens as Talith's own shadow, we see as almost like a pure black mist begins to raise from his shadow as it begins to swirl around upwards, making into a spiral as dust particles, kind of black dust particles, fall off of it. And as the particles fall down and shower this area, from the shadow rises up a very beautiful Palomino. And his name is Useful.
Excellent.
I don't have a thing for him, an icon or a sprite or anything like that, but
Okay, I'll find you something.
is he's going to actually summon it 30 feet north of him.
Okay.
Chris,
And just
Chris, before he does that, maybe explain movement with mount.
Sure, yeah. So like if you
it's an otherworldly steed as well.
just in terms of the movement, you don't like combine your movement with the mount's movement, I believe, unless I've changed it. So like if you move while mounted, it deducts the movement. Like you're limited to the overall whatever movement's higher, I think, between you and this dude. I think we might want to double check that, but that's my interpretation of it.
You're talking about like if he's mounted, he has the movement of the steed itself?
Yeah, but you can't like run to the mount, get on the mount, and then the mount takes off and gets its full speed. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, right now he's just summoning it like
Okay.
30 feet north of him. Like he's not moving because it says there's a range of 30 feet for this spell, I believe.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. I'll tell you what, we'll find it between turns. Yeah, so you are able to do that. So yes, you've summoned your steed in that 30-foot range.
Alright, and I'm
anything
gonna
else you'd like to do on your turn?
yeah, real quick, I'm gonna post the stats because it's not showing up on this, but I got it from D&D Beyond. and it's going to be the Fey version of it.
Excellent.
And then so how its turn works, like if it was still summoned 30 feet north of him, since its turn happens, I believe it said after my turn, can it still move on that turn?
I think it would go, directly after your turn, right?
Yeah. Okay, so once he summons that, Health is going to shout out, anyone that can't move fast enough, get on useful. The horse.
Excellent. Yeah, interesting. I don't think I have a horse icon.
Just make it a dragon.
I'll use my reaction to say, Tal, that's you!
For the moment, you're getting this wolf. It's a horse, but it thinks it's a wolf.
Sometimes she is a horse. Sometimes she's a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And then Talith will move down there south, and he will once again take the dodge action and end his turn.
Ashen, Iscariot. For just a moment ago, Merrick had stabbed the sword upward, and the dragon reared back, kind of turning his attention to this person beneath him. But another feathered creature, much smaller than the dragon itself, swooped in and seemed to grab Merrick and go curving off, running north with them. And the dragon summoned to tracked sort of the creature northward. But then when the creature passed you, some of its eyes are fixed onto you, Ashen. You are currently in the creature's threat range.
Okay. Yeah, watching Talith run in the opposite direction, he lets out an imperceptible sigh and glances over his shoulder at the large man beating on a rock, making noise. And he lifts his shield, grips his war pick tight, and then just takes one swing at the dragon, swinging up at the underside of its chin. Since I have Zephyr Strike active, I'm going to give myself advantage on this attack roll.
Excellent.
$18 to hit.
18 hits the creature's jaw. Barely even seems to notice. It snarls. Saliva drips into the snow, crackles of lightning.
Ashen looks down at his war pick again. Says, Revi, and swings again. And I'm going to use Channel Divinity to give me +10 to that attack.
Ooh, excellent.
Let me paste that in. This is a 28 hit.
28 hits the creature.
Yeah, he swings again, and the beak of the raven pierces the soft spot underneath his chin. And when he strikes the dragon, I'm going to use my mastery ability to give him disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Ooh, very nice.
And my Zephyr Strike will also allow me to add 1d8 force damage. And I have another ability, class ability, that'll give me 1d8 radiant damage. So 5 piercing, 1 force, 4 radiant damage from that strike.
So for a total of 10.
Total of 10.
Yeah. You make contact with the creature. It's a flash of light. Its head's moved by the attack, but you can see the creature's hide's so thick, didn't actually do any damage.
Ashen. Ashen steps back. And
You're at the edge of the creature's threat range right now. If you step back again, it'll potentially attack of opportunity.
so my Zephyr Strike makes it so that I cannot be opportunity attacked.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to... Chris, if I step back again, can I see into that cave?
You'd have to step back to know.
Yeah, so Ashen moves away.
Yeah. I believe the creature cannot make attack of opportunity against you.
Nice. Can I see into that cave?
You can. So, and I guess you guys haven't all rolled your hide yet, but you think you see people in there, but it's a little hard to make them out. It's almost as though they're being obscured by some magic.
Ashen turns his back to the dragon and looks at Sal. And He says, "There's no victory here." And he'll jump 30 feet further up the ravine.
As you jump north, the creature's eyes track, but then they stop when they hit Salinger. There's a low snarl and a narrowing of the creature's eyes.
I think that's my turn.
You see the massive muscles beneath all the feathers and hide flex, forelimbs sticking into the claws sticking into the ground, and Summit begins to move forward towards Salinger.
As soon as it's in 20 feet, let me know.
Okay. Um, creature is coming towards you, gets just within 20 feet.
All right, and I'll use my held action. Sal, both
20
hands
feet of you, means
swings the massive hammer that was slamming against the rock, lets out a guttural, bestial roar sound as frost and ice come out of his mouth, and the hammer goes flying straight at the creature's snout.
Give it a roll.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 would not hit.
Okay. Let me check one thing to make sure it's working.
Do you have anything that you could add to that roll?
Yeah, I believe so. No, the fighting style's +2 damage. I'll use my inspiration on it.
Roll it again.
And when I hold an attack action, I still get the extra attack feature, right? So I'll be able to throw 2.
Yeah, because it is the attack action. Or I should say, you are specifically taking the attack action and probably
Gotcha.
get
So there's a
goes with it.
21 with the inspiration.
Anything you could add to that?
No. And I'm going to throw if it misses or it dinks off of him, the second one I'll throw reckless because I'll be getting pissed.
Okay, tell us what this looks like. So you throw it.
What happens is he throws it like from the center of his back, two-handed, and it launches towards the creature. Then when it impacts, it like fizzles out into little flecks of frost and ice, then reappears in his hand again, and he swings.
Awesome.
It reappears in his hand as soon as it strikes the creature again.
All right, yeah, that first one hits, knocks the creature's head to the side a bit, but you can tell doesn't do any damage. Vanishes, appears in your hands again.
Right, then I'll do the reckless throw, and that's the one that had a 26 on it.
26 will hit.
That should have an additional +2 from my thrown weapon fighting style, so it's 13 damage. And then this probably won't do damage, but it's wreathed in ice. Poppy uses her reaction to spit ice at the creature as well, and then it'll do an additional d6 elemental damage from me.
Okay, but that's considered part of the same attack, not a separate attack?
All part of the same attack, yeah. Her reaction is when it inflicts, and the cold damage is part of my rage, the element that I took on.
Awesome. All right, give me the total.
It's an additional 5 frost damage, so it'd be 18 total.
Right. Yeah, the hammer bang, hits the creature this time. Much harder, more solid hit. The creature's head's knocked to the side, and the hammer vanishes, and I assume reappears in your hands again, right?
Yeah, this time kind of slumped off to the side of him as he looks a little winded.
Yeah. There's a lingering moment as the creature's head has been knocked to the side before it slowly turns its eyes and cranes its head back toward you. There's a beat, and then there's an explosion. You see a golden streaks go in all directions. There's a loud, incredibly loud booming sound. Knocks the creature into the rock wall to the side. You see sparkles and things in the air, and you realize what you're seeing, Salinger, is fireworks. But you've seen them before. You saw them in the festivals in Shepherd's End. They form little butterflies and birds that winkle out. And then you realize there's a streak of smoke that's leading up to a ridgeline on the northern side of the map. And as you glance that way for a second, you see 3 figures, 2 of them small creatures, 1 a large creature, silhouetted against the sun. You can't make out the details, but you hear a deep, unfamiliar voice, with something familiar in the accent. Run! You cannot beat the dragon! Run! You see the summit's been knocked against the rocks. You can see him starting to recover, but he's been stunned by the strike. Sav, your turn.
I assume I hear at least that bit.
Yeah, you heard the loud booming explosions, flashes of light.
And I see this horse wolf sitting outside of this cave at the moment, or is it somewhere else?
There is a horse. Something off about it.
Well, but they're not. She's not too fond of horses right now after having ridden Moss Rail for a few days. But this wild. And anyway, she's gonna step out for a minute, take a look around, see if anyone is still left. Can I see Tala from there?
Actually, probably not. Because he's on that side of the rocks. Yeah, you'd have to go out. Like, you thought you knew where he was when you look. Should have been just on those wings, but he's not there.
Okay. In that case, then... They're going to nod at Vax, having taken a peek outside and seemingly seeing most people except for Salinger, and they look like they're ready to go-ish. And they hold up a hand and release an image of more cliffs, rocks, etc., snow that kind of curves around the front of the hole that she's created, and is not going to do this the concentration version. This is going to be the upcast non-concentration version, and it smells like stone and rock. It has the same temperature. It has everything except for the actual tactility. So it will also help to hide. And then I think for the bonus, there isn't much. So probably at most it will. Maybe it'll move up and give temporary HP to the horse.
Just looks the coat a little shinier.
And that'll be it for me.
Peach Pine.
So Sav has left the tunnel, correct? You're out there.
Now I'm back in.
Okay, back in.
I just cast an illusion, and so right now it's probably dark because it would cut off the light, I imagine.
I
Maybe
think
it
if you know it's an illusion, it might dim the light a little bit, but because if you can see through it, then it's through.
Right. Yeah, and they watch me cast it.
Right. Thank you. So in that case, Peach is going to look. She's sitting like cross-legged, and she's looking like eye level at Bax. She goes, yeah, thanks for all the magic and everything. I think I might need to make an elegant exit. And I think I'm going to take our sleepy friend with us, all right? And she's going to sort of try to scooch Caspian out from under Bax a little bit. And ultimately, she's going to try to grab him by like the armor, whatever has a good grip, right? And she's going to try to roll him into a sort of off the bed dimension door, like as if she's falling into the mist left by the pass without trace. But then she and Caspian don't pop back up because they pop up over by Vent.
Yeah, awesome.
That's pretty cool. I was gonna say Bax is gonna react, but like as you vanish into the ground, he just like pats the ground where you were.
Very cool. Anything else on your turn?
If she's successfully near Vent or whomever, she'll say, "Wait, weren't you a Salinger?" And that'll end her turn.
Merrick is still clutching the feathers on Poppy's back, and he manages to get his sword kind of into its scabbard so he can better hold on as they're flying northward. Mossriel safe in the caves. Peach and Caspian appear right there next to you. Salinger, your turn. You can see that Summit's been stunned by the explosion of fireworks, but he's going to recover quickly.
Sal feels like he recognizes the voice and almost smiles for a second. Almost. And his face goes back to the grouchy one that's been the whole time. Gives a little bow at the dragon and says, "I believe I have overstayed my welcome." And then disappears, goes invisible.
Nice.
And will turn on his heel while invisible and dash 100 feet down that ravine.
Excellent.
Poppy will dash with for 80 feet, same direction, but gliding above.
Yeah, and Poppy goes with you. Okay. Okay, yeah, so Salinger, Poppy, Merrick escape northward into the caves. At the end of Salinger's turn, there are streaks of daggered spines through the air. One of them changes directions, comes down at Talith. Talith, please make that saving throw.
All right.
And to check, Squire, did you make up for that saving throw earlier when you were AFK?
Yeah, I failed it and took damage.
South, looks like you're going to take 13 piercing damage. And some of those spines bounce off of your shield and your armor, while one of them catches you in the side. Squire, your turn. You're hidden on the rocks, but it looks like the others have fled.
Yep. Raising up into the air just a little bit, testing out the sensation of flight. He goes zooming down off the cliff sides towards the ground and flies in the direction after the others towards the caves.
Squire has escaped into the caves. Backs in the caves as well. Talith. You can see the creature still recovering. The others looks like they've gotten away. You can see Useful still there, kind of stepping anxiously back and forth. The only thing there left in front of the dragon.
Okay. So Useful goes on my turn or after?
Directly after you, I believe.
Okay. So then Talith is going to... Oh, well. Okay. You see something similar to whenever he summoned Useful. You see another coat of this dark, shadowy looking mist swirl around Talith from his shadow as it raises again, almost like a curtain or umbrella covering around him. And then as the shadow wraps around him, it disappears and fades into the ground as Talith casts Dimension Door. But he will actually use it. How high up is that cliffside that those other three are on?
About 140 feet. So for you... Oh gosh, I'm just going to estimate to 180.
Okay, either way, yeah, well within the range. So he's going to use Dimension Door to teleport up there with those people.
Awesome. I can't click on your character. You'll have to move yourself. Yeah. Appearing up there, you see three figures fully bundled for the winter. One of them almost as big as Salinger, hulking with muscles. The other two quite small. From one of them, you think you can see a little bit of, beneath the earmuffs, a little bit of green around the eyes, peeking out wrinkles of an aged figure. You see little tufts of red hair from one of the other small figures, bright eyes looking up at you, almost with a look of recognition.
Okay. Talith may be catching some of this, not acknowledging it in the moment. He says to them, "Where can we go?"
It's actually the smallest of them that moves forward towards you. She reaches up with mittened hands that are puffy, inarticulate, and puts her hand on you, and you hear an old woman's voice say, "We have to get out of here now."
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
This way. And she starts leading you all off of the cliffs, headed north.
And then Useful will... How far are those caves from Useful? Up north where everyone else went?
Just off the map. I can't click. 60 feet.
Okay, yeah, Useful is going to run off with them.
All right. Yeah, Useless goes running off, vanishing with the others into the caves. Sav, left behind with Bax in there with you, hidden behind the illusion. You hear the heavy footfalls of the dragon. You see a large claw come down in front of the cave, but facing northward. There's low, snarling drips of saliva into the snow and crackles of lightning that run through the snow around it. There's a snarl, and a huff, frustration, and then the beating of wings. Dragon lifts off, and you hear creature moving west, away from the others.
Chris, can I cast a spell at it as it's leaving?
If you'd like to, you certainly can.
I wasn't quite off the map. Ashen steps from behind the rocks and says, "What marzet?" And when he holds his shield up, the scales on the front shift to one side and then straighten back out as he casts Hunter's Mark at 3rd level on the dragon.
Tell us about Hunter's Mark.
So I clicked to cast it, but it didn't do it. One sec.
The system works. It's very good. There are no complaints.
Yeah, so I magically marked the creature, which would give me extra damage, but I also have advantage on checks to find this creature. And since I upcast it to 3rd level, that will last, I believe, 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you manage to get your sights on the creature, locking onto it with your magic. I think you have a sense, at least just immediately, as the creature swoops on the wind. It doesn't leave. It's circling. You get the sense that it's trying to find a way to reach you. You're safe in the caves. Those caves are too small for it to get inside. But you hear on the mountaintop scratching sounds against the rocks. Low, gurgling snarl. You're safe for now. Creature's trying to find you.
While that dragon was, as it was outside the cave that Bax and Sav were in, I was just getting, for flavor, Bax would have pushed Sav behind him, and as shit as he looks, he would have crouched and been ready to go, been standing defensively, ready to fight off if needed.
Meanwhile, Sal's just whispering fiercely, I told you to go. Why would I get out there to get hit again? Just like a stream of imprecations directed at his back. Luckily, though, there's also a glimmering of white powder that they spray or fling over him, and is going to cast Cure Wounds at probably 3rd level. Because he still looks beat up as hell, right?
Oh my god, he looks really bad. He looks so bad, guys.
I did my best.
And you did great considering where he was.
He took 97 in one hit. You were like just out of bloody out of time, right? Something like that.
Probably just for a bit of safety, moving back from the very edges of the caves to make sure nothing could reach in and grab you. Each of you realize this cave system that you're in seems to run winding through the mountain. It's been carved by ancient water flows. It looks as though it stretches potentially deep back into the mountains, but you're in a chamber right now where you could potentially rest. You're not sure if anything else lives here, but you don't see any. You don't see any signs of recent activity.
I'm gonna cast a third level cure wounds and then another one first level cure wounds on top of that for good measure. So that should be 22, 35. Yeah, 35 HP back. Well,
Definitely doing better. Yeah, because so Bax and Sav are separated from everyone at the moment. Okay, that feels good. He says, kind of sitting and sliding against the wall. That could have gone a lot worse, I think, right?
well, nobody's dead, but not for want of trying, as far as I can tell. She creeps up to the edge and of the illusion and pokes. I don't know. I don't think that she needs to actually poke her head out all the way because she can see through it. So she's trying to get a bead of if it's anywhere nearby, if she can hear it.
I think you do hear like an impact sound and a snarl, but it's pretty far away now. You can barely hear it over the wind. It's probably not safe to be out in the open for too long, but if you were to leave the cave you are right now, I wouldn't see it.
I think we can probably make our way back there. I could magic us in the area, but I want to conserve my energy as much as possible in case we have to run into anything else. Hey, can you still manage the flying I gave you? You got it for a few more minutes. Aye?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
yeah, we can.
Let me. Then for a moment they seem to focus on something internally, and there's no visible sign of any magic. But then all of a sudden it seems like the stuff on them is no longer has weight to it, and they poke up, push their toe down a little bit, and then they float, just hover in midair, and they say, "I don't have much in the way of speed this way, but if I hang on to you, you can get us there pretty fast. I shouldn't have any weight to me now. Way much easier to tow me. And this way we shouldn't leave any footprints neither."
All right, Bax will stand in front of you so that you can like.
He'll grab onto his shoulders.
Yeah. Just do whatever you're gonna do. Have I told you that everything that you do is just really cool recently? Because man. All right, yeah.
I don't seem to know what to say to that, so there's nothing.
Doesn't note it or anything. Yeah, hold tight. And Bax, with Pass Without Trace still up, is going to initially move out quietly, keeping an eye out for the dragon, but will, as he gets closer, will dash for the cavern.
Yeah, you hear wings on the air, distant impact sound. Nothing too close. You're able to dash across the gap, make it to the caves. Those of you inside, you hear a bit of movement outside, but it's not a beast, but two familiar faces that appear at the archway, at the entrance.
Good. Everyone is not here. Where's Talith?
He's not with you?
Wasn't it with you?
Shit.
I looked at. God. Pardon it.
Talith will be fine. Did you see the creature when you came in?
It's still out there, yeah.
Direction, proximity.
It's flying around, man. I don't know. It's not leaving the immediate area. It's still close by. We're going to have to... Something that bestial, it's going to be here for a few more hours at minimum, I would imagine.
Those people up on the cliffs, friends of yours?
No. I heard something. I didn't actually see anyone.
I didn't recognize the voices. Did you? And Sav looks around at everybody else.
Were we able to hear them from inside the tunnel?
You heard potentially the shouting, male voice, accented.
Would Sal have been able to make it out since he was in the open? Like, did it roll something?
Potentially. Roll
French.
insight.
Insight. Yeah, just like say history. That's the thing.
History. Yeah, you could roll actually history as well. One or the other. Now, let me know which one you're rolling, though, because the method will be different for information you get.
I mean, history was a +10, so I went with history.
Yeah, I think it's an accent that you've heard before. You heard it from the Emet family in Shepherd's End. You know it's not from that region. People that had traveled there over some time, but the wheels kind of turn. You connect the dots. The voice was far older. The accent, just something about the inflection. Salinger, that was Yev.
Do you say that?
He'll say, sounded like a very old friend from home, but he looks
Who?
at Peach.
Who'd it sound like? I didn't hear anything. I was inside, Sav's little hidey hole.
It sounded like Yev, and after I've seen one ghost recently, I wouldn't put it past him. But older.
Yev? Like, Ixalana Shalatis Yev?
Yeah, baby brother Yev.
Unbelievable. He must be one of the returned too, yeah?
If we are that lucky. He wasn't alone. If that's who Talus with, he's safe, Sal says to the rest of the group.
No, Yev's like 14. He's not safe. We didn't even let him come along with us.
He could handle himself. Casey always believed.
Casey didn't care for anyone's safety as long as it was a cool story in the end. We're lucky we didn't all die.
We are lucky we didn't all die today, Sal says, looking around, especially at a few people that kept running back towards the dragon judgmentally.
He's right, What happened with actually moving or hiding?
Why'd you say fight, you fools?
You actually said
Uh,
And then,
while
and after a beat, he just starts to grin.
while Peach and Sal are chatting about hometown, Peach is going to try to cast more. How close is Caspian to coming to? Could Peach assess
No,
that
he's
with
hurt. He's
medicine
hurt so bad. Broken
so bad that throwing
bones.
more cure
Yeah,
wounds
his
won't work?
down.
No, healing him would be probably a good idea.
Well, yeah, but can Peach assess all right, yeah, she'll heal him. Anyway, so she'll be chatting with Sal about how old Yev is and whether he's capable enough and whether Casey is a bad influence or not. And as she's doing that, she's sort of tapping her fingers on Caspian's forehead, just a little similar to the rhythm of the song that she was singing in the little cave. And she's going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. No, she's going to cast Cure Wounds at 4th level because I actually have more of those left. All right. But I'll do the whole roll it a million times thing.
Okay, yeah, just let me know what you get.
Does anyone know anything about that creature by any chance? No?
I don't know much about anything around anywhere, honestly, but definitely not that.
Most likely lives in this mountain. Doesn't seem to understand language. More beast than proper dragon.
Caspian heals for 48 hit points. Well, Sal, you know dragons better than anyone, right? Is Poppy in here with us?
No. She would have kind of snuck away through the caves pretty quickly. No longer an ISO.
Who else is injured? Line up.
I can go look for Talith. If how long is this? He starts to float a little bit. He's like, how long?
You've only got a few more minutes left. I wouldn't risk it.
Let's hold tight. I don't think it's wise to risk anyone going out there right now. If Talith is alive with those people, then they're also hiding. I think we're just gonna have to sit and wait for some time before we think it may be safe to go back out.
Caspian gasps awake. And he reaches out. You're right from there. He grabs onto your shoulder, Peach. Did we win? We got it, didn't we?
More of a draw.
We're alive. We won the day in that we sometimes retreating is the type of victory, so that you fight another day. Right? So really we're victorious because we all made it out. You should have, I mean, you yourself, Caspian, you were on the brink of death's door. The Raven Queen was going to swoop down and get you.
He drops back onto the ground. Winners.
All right. Well, I think we should all get comfortable for however long we may end up being here. At least take a bit of rest, try and lick our wounds, and get ready to get back out there. Eventually.
I'm doing all right. I can look deeper in the caves. I don't really need to rest right now, so let's see if maybe I can find a way around or through or another way out, something like that.
You do that. I'm gonna take a minute or 5 or forever to just kind of relax a little bit. Ow, ow, he says, leaning as he falls back against the wall of the cave.
Where you do see, these caves look as though, I mean, it's going to be a tight squeeze here and there. You might have to climb or crawl, but looks like these tunnels go deep into the mountain.
I'm no hurt. I'll go with. I don't think anybody should go alone.
Yeah, all right.
I'm feeling better. I can help.
Are you still giant with 3? Patrick's asking.
So everything should have ended after 1 minute with the exception of being bright blue. That's for 24 hours.
We're still bright blue, but you're not even sure when it happened. You just realize, oh, wait, everyone's tall again.
Just speaking in a normal voice.
While we're at that, what the fuck was that today?
Sometimes, when I do certain kinds of magic, unattended things happen. That one was definitely the worst that's happened so far. I don't know if it was because I was nervous and I it just made it go extra crazy. Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have been better. Sometimes it's good stuff that happens.
How long has this all been happening for? Since you returned, or even before then, when you were in, whatever shared, where you and Sav are from, that other place?
Allie, the player, doesn't have an answer to that kind of question. So Mossrail just kind of looks confused and she says, not sure. It's not like I got to practice magic a whole lot.
What? Oh,
the
right.
times.
Well, my magic got all messed up. All different things are working differently and all kinds of stuff. So, I don't know. I was just wondering, maybe it was you used to have more kind of control and now you don't because of the, broken world of it all.
Well, some magic I feel very in control of, but sometimes other stuff kind of happens. I don't know. I have to work on it. I mean, I've had years of living here where I can use magic openly, so I get more practice and I've learned new things, but sometimes those new things don't work. Or they do work.
Is it going to be a danger to us?
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah. I think the two of us can probably handle looking in the caves for a bit, but if we catch wind of
Oh,
something...
no using magic. One way or the other.
Oh, no. All right.
It's fine. If you don't want me along, I'll just stay here.
Well, if the stuff only happens if you use magic, I mean, I guess...
Well, not
Yeah.
all the magic I do, only some kinds of magic.
Okay, well...
And
Yeah,
only
just...
big stuff. And usually only if I'm fighting.
All right. He looks at Sav. Sure. I mean, just don't want you growing real big in one of those tight spaces.
You yeah, as you're saying this, you see a figure appear at the mouth of the cave. You realize Merrick had gone out in the snow for a minute. He comes back in. He's got a troll's head in his hand. His sword's dripping with blood. Tosses the troll's head into the corner.
Did you hike all the way back there?
It wasn't that far.
Did you get my arrows?
Yeah.
Did you get my dagger?
Huh.
Wait, is this thing gonna come back to life?
Not now. He sits down, exhausted.
Like, what if the head just comes and chomping at us?
He tosses 2 silver arrows and a silver dagger onto the ground.
Ah, nice.
Didn't happen to get my rifle, did you?
Sorry.
Also, and I don't want to sound greedy, but there's like 500 pounds of meat by any chance.
I can smell it. I'm so hungry.
He sort of laughs and looks at the other two. We're going to go explore in the caves for a bit and just try to see if we can find other routes in or out.
Velt, wait, I can help. I can be useful. I can go with you.
You sure you're up for it?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, don't run off, and follow instructions. Come on.
He kind of nudges you with his elbow, kind of around the knee. He hands you like a little portion of cooked troll meat. Got some of this.
He takes it happily, smile, nudges him back. And then, looks around and says, all right, if there's nothing else, I guess we'll go exploring.
With 4, we can at least split up into 2 teams if need be. If there's a fog or something like that.
All right.
Ashen spits some blood on the ground and holds up a hand and starts to chant, "No, no, no, Rivusela, no, no, no." Who's physically bloodied, like you can see they're bloodied.
I'm
Just
hurt,
us
but
two.
not bloody.
Yeah. Bax, you and Ashen, kind of this energy rumbles to the ground and you feel it kind of travel up your legs and into the pit of your stomach, and you will gain some HP back from Mass Healing Word.
So Squire, Sav, Mossreal, and Velt have gone into the caves exploring. Okay, it seems they'll most likely be gone for a while. Who does that leave back in the main cavern? Yeah. So I think once the quiet ones, they have gone off into the caves. You hear clip clop, and you realize there's a bizarre horse there with you in this cavern, just standing there. Its tail flicks. It snorts. Yes, you don't know this horse.
That ain't Mosrail, is it? She went
Is it-
off with the rest of them all? She didn't come back and become a horse again.
What are you? What?
Oh, yeah, she was a horse once. Carried me and Sav all through town and up in the hills and things, you know.
That sounds horrible.
She was fine with it. It's her idea.
Whose horse is that? I don't like that. I don't like. I want it gone. Does that? Whose horse is this?
Pretty sure it's Talith's. I saw him summon it on the battlefield.
Why is it here if he ain't here? Shouldn't it be with him?
Talith will be back soon enough.
All right, well, can we... Hello, horse. Can you maybe stop looking? So why... Oh, you know what? Go find your master, horse. Go. Go find Talith. Good boy. Bring him back to us. Go on, horse. Go. She'll try to usher it to the door.
Yeah, it just flicks its tail, stares at you. Awkwardly.
Yeah, but this is not a very loyal animal. Salinger probably would have come if you called.
Sure she was. Do I? Sal's gonna just like instinctively offer the horse like a piece of apple or some little bit of ration.
Oh, yeah. If you offered a little bit of maybe dried apple, it eats it. Flicks its tail. Seems happy. You're not sure. Seems happy.
I think Aloysius has stayed behind as his form isn't that useful for squeezing into things these days, and so he just like stomps his feet and then flaps his tail in the sort of like that goat way.
Yeah, I think Aloysius and Useful kind of devolve into playing at the edge of the room. Merrick reaches over and taps Caspian with a sword. Still alive? Caspian. Oh, yeah, still alive. This one. She saved me. Saved my life. Used magic. Still here, still breathing. I'm just gonna sleep. Right, good night. Merrick kind of looks over at Salinger. Makes eye contact with you for a minute. Gives you a slow nod.
Sal nods back. And again, just like reflexively pats the unsettling to everyone else horse.
This horse has not blinked once since we noticed it.
I feel like parts of it are transparent. Like, I can see through bits.
Oh, how long do you think they're going to take?
Oh, them all exploring? They could take ages. Remember, Casey used to take, like, better part of a day and come back.
What's the plan here? We're just looking for a way out.
I didn't hear. Kid didn't hear.
He's still just speaking kind of generally to the room. And what's the plan here? We're just going to let them wander around, find a way out for us.
I mean, we have a way out. We just need to give it some time to more safely leave and navigate to try and find Talith. That dragon has to leave first.
And I'm not in any shape to be out there. And she nods over at Caspian and Bax, and they're all, barely alive.
Merrick,
Might be.
Merrick says, Squire and the others will be back before the better part of a day. We should rest here for those who are wounded.
Peach will start bustling and making a fire, but not one that produces like smoke. She's using prestidigitation. Oh no, we don't have that spell anymore. Never mind. She's just trying to make a meal without fire. So getting out rations and she's trying to make it homey for folks. Trying to get meal vibes going, even though there's no fire in the area.
Says, I want to keep an eye on these other caves. There could be more of these trolls, or who knows what lives in here. To set up watches.
I'll take the first one. He looks at himself. He barely has a scratch on him. I think I took the least of it out there.
How in the world? I mean, I know you are a tough guy, Salinger. I know. How? She gestures at her formerly white coat, which is now like just splashed with her own blood and Caspian's blood and that black ichor that Bax had. And
There's no black
no,
ichor.
that
No,
didn't
no.
stain. Oh,
No,
fantastic.
that doesn't stick. No.
Good. Much less gross. She's just covered in blood then, and probably dirt. But I mean, you've been fighting monsters in the old interim. How are you? Well done.
It's more that they were more interesting targets, says lowering his tone a little bit, especially looking at Ashen and Bax, who stayed toe-to-toe for quite some time.
Bax will, before people begin to separate, my friends are gone. I don't really know a lot about any of you guys. So, how do you two know each other? I know that you grew up in the same village, motioning towards Peach and Salinger. Or you, old guy. I don't think you know any of us. Where are you from?
Am I old guy?
Yeah, are you talking to Merrick? Or who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Ashen. He's old guy.
They're all kind of old, though. I mean, Bax, you're the only one here without any gray hair. I mean, you and Caspian.
Sal was only in his early 30s. Thank you.
You describe gray.
That's just from having a child.
I'm sorry, that one really got me out of character.
It's like being the president, having a child. Which one ages you more?
Were those questions meant to be in sequential order based on the asking?
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Just anyone can answer whenever they want to.
You could not be more different than that man that looks just like you.
Yeah, I've been told that.
I know. Silas was a real bastard. This one's kind of cute.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
so we grew up in Sheps, right? We grew up at the same rate. The fact that Salinger is now, a silver fox is a whole relatively new thing for me, at least. But yeah, I worked as a waitress for years. I worked at my mom's tavern, and she taught me a lot of what I know, and I adapted a lot of it too. And we all took classes, and we were supposed to graduate and go on and do great things, but then everybody went off to war. So, all the adults anyway. And then it was like we were going to graduate and move on, and we might go off and fight. So, no, it's just kid stuff. Before we all got into fights and things, the biggest drama was who's going to dance with who at the dance. Are we going to get Esmond to dance with a girl from the convent and make them spin around each other and stuff? Like, that used to be the sort of issues we had. So, and then I met Sav and Mosrael, who are both gone now. Yeah. And then eventually, she nods to Sal, found you again. And that's been, I thought I was the only one. I know there are other people who come back and all, but I hadn't met anybody else from our version of the world before you.
Well, if we're lucky, maybe that was Yev. And more pieces will fall back together from our.
I meant to ask, during that whole period of time, that 10 years, did nobody else came around? Nobody else came to your town from ships?
No, nobody I recognize.
But more return people came, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. Walking the river like I did. Ceremony I learned to appreciate over time.
All right, now, she nods at Ashen. Either you talk or you. And she'll indicate Bax. Now, I made myself all bummed out.
That sounds really nice. I mean, I guess war doesn't. War, unfortunately, carries wherever you go. Yeah, I had a. I'm from a small village.
Yeah, you grew up with Talith and Squire, right?
I grew up with Talith.
Well, the way you
Yeah.
talk to Squire is like, I feel like you guys know each other, though.
No, he looks incredibly familiar, but no. Yeah, we grew up together, and things happened, and as he's saying this, he's kind of like unconsciously gripping the back of his legs while he's sitting with his legs crossed.
Well,
Yeah, and we moved around a lot, and now we're all here.
Merrick's sitting on a rock, sharpening a sword. Caspian coughs once.
that can't be at all, though, Bax. Because even I know that at one point you was dead and somebody else was in your body for a bit, because I know him. And, there was, it wasn't just traveling around with friends and everything. Like, you know, tell us more about this Talith guy, right? How we know we can trust him, right? Give us some anecdotes. We barely know anybody here. Give us some stories and we know we can trust you and you're not just gonna go and get yourself killed every time.
As your thoughts drift towards Talith, to explain who he is. Talith, you have made it deep enough in the caves where you feel as though... No. Yeah, it's gone. Creature's gone. The other three that you're with, you can see them looking. One of them, the smaller one, the shortest of them, the old woman, she holds a mittened hand up as though saying, wait. You can see she kind of moves her earmuffs a bit. You see a green long ear flop out and twitches a little bit. I think it's gone. I think we're okay. And then you can see in these dark caves, but the other small one of them takes out an object and shakes it, and a kind of a pale green light floods out through the interior. She's, sorry, I can't see anything in here. And she pulls back her hood. Her eyes fix on you again, Talith. She squints a little bit. You realize she looks familiar. She says, You're you're Talith. I've met you. It's Samsel. I was with you in the mountains, near Northgate. It was a long time ago, I guess. But what happened to all the others?
I, the player, am having a rough time remembering this person.
It feels the same, probably, for Talith.
Okay,
Are
okay.
you sure that Talith was around? Because I feel like maybe
There were-
they
there were-
didn't overlap.
There was the slightest overlap, but it was mostly out of character. So this is just someone kind of familiar, vaguely.
Can
like
you
you've seen
refresh
before.
my memory? When did they overlap? Because I remember Talith getting kidnapped before we met Samsel. No?
Mm-mm. No, that happened right after.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not sure Joshua was ever in a session where Samsel was, though.
Yeah, it would have been totally out of character, like a passing, maybe acquaintance, if anything.
Well, regardless, I don't remember him, so Talith is not going to in this instance.
But it's
Her.
a little it's a little like auburn haired halfling. But you're like, it looks kind of familiar, but you honestly don't even remember her. It's like when someone remembers you and you don't remember them.
Talith looks at her. I do remember you. I think, yeah, you were, yeah, with the mountains.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that is you. Well, it's good to see you again.
It's amazing to see anyone from that. We're so far away from. I mean, Eisentel's not even Eisentel anymore.
No, it's not. You came here like the rest of us then.
Well, how did you get here? I don't answer the question.
Well, at first I thought it was from someone I knew. But, just a flash of light, and I was just here.
The older goblin woman, she kind of pulls back her the bit and pulls down her handkerchief. My name's Gwen. Gwen Clockwright. And the larger Goliath says, Libyev. The goblin looks at you searchingly and says, yeah, the other people you're with, your friends, you know them?
I know some of them, yes. The others, some of them met here, more recently. But the ones that I don't know, they seem trustworthy enough.
We should try to find them. It's dangerous in these mountains. The beast had attacked our outpost, destroyed everything, killed the others. We should find your friends. If we're gonna get out of here, need everybody together.
Yeah, we should. Real quick, you said this thing attacked the outpost, right?
Yeah, I at a facility here in the mountains. It came down from the peaks. I think I know why. But destroyed everything. We had to flee into the mountains.
You said you think you know why. What's your logic?
I was doing experiments with a stone. fragment of a stone. There's an energy it gives off, an aura, and a lot. It's hard to explain, but there's someone I'm trying to reach them.
Okay, a stone that gives off energy. You know, actually,
When you appeared on the top of the rocks with us, I got that feeling. The one that I've gotten when I've met others. Have you been having the dreams like the three of us?
Talith looks back and forth between the three. Yeah. Yeah, I have. Which is seeming to be more and more common lately, I've noticed.
Makes sense. And to be honest, it may be my fault. The stone that I'm studying, it's connected somehow. There's something about it. It's related to what's happening. But I lost it when the dragon attacked. It's back at the facility. We had to run.
Alright. Alright. First thing we should do is, you're right, we should go and find the rest of my group. I might have a good way, an easy way to find them. And there's also some with them that I think would be very interested to hear this as well. Out of character, how far did they travel? Really far from the cliffside to where they're at right now?
Yeah, you went fleeing into the mountains and found some caves to hide in. There was a moment where it seemed as though the creature was giving chase, and which drove you deep into the caves. So you're not miles away or anything like that, but at least several hundred feet. Somsel says, yeah, I don't think we should go out back on the surface. Maybe these caves, maybe we can find a way through.
Yeah. Talith hesitates for just a moment. Yeah, let's go through the caves. We'll see if we can find another route, at least far enough away from the current territory of that beast.
Somsel says, your other friends from Eisendel? Are any of them here?
Some of them, yeah.
That would be nice. I didn't think I'd ever see anyone from home again.
Oh man. Don't I know that feeling? I feel like at this rate I might be reunited with everyone. Might be happening for you too. I don't know. We'll see.
Hope so. And then you see the older goblin woman. She takes the lead and kind of sniffs the air a little bit. And says, "It's this way. Follow me."
On their way out, as they're walking, Talith casts dancing lights.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the four of you vanish into the caves. Yeah. Oh, good.
My name is Ashen Iscariot, Grand Knight of the Iscariot Order of the Pale Guard. He looks pointedly at each of the people still in the cave, looks at Peach raising her hand, and continues looking at the rest of them.
What else does that mean?
I cleanse the wretched undead and hunt down necromancers that bring such plagues upon these lands.
Oh, we did that too. Remember, Sal? We were going after that necromancer for a little while. Remember back with the verdict?
Like the rest of you, I came here against my will. When I fell in battle, hunting down the cursed being in Moraith, by the name of Astario. And now these dreams plague me here, as they seem to plague the rest of you. So I mean to find the source of them and return to my land.
Neat. Yeah, I think that's what we're all trying to do. So I guess we'll keep working together.
I excel at close combat, phalanx style, auras and such. I saw what a few of you did on the battlefield. It's not bad. I mean, you shouldn't have let that dragon bite you. It's probably not the best method.
No, you probably shouldn't have somersaulted onto its back. So, I mean,
I had that well in hand, as you saw.
I had thrown a bag of meat to try and draw its attention. Then you jumped onto it. So we're all in agreement. We all should have run. We were all trying to. I was just trying to make sure that everyone could actually flee.
And then you got knocked out yourself. I do remember resurrecting your unconscious body.
Yeah. It's not the first time that's happened.
So you're
What?
a healer.
This is the first time I... What? That's not the first... I can do some healing, but primarily I'm a waitress.
You had a firearm as well.
Had. Yeah, I think it's at the top of that ridge, though.
Why would you leave it up there?
I've got badly hurt, and when our mysterious friend who has since vanished... Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I was up on the ridge. I remember I was up on the ridge, and that's where my gun is. But then I was
He gestures
down.
towards backs. But you can fly. You can go retrieve it.
Nope. That's something Sav did. Sav is the definitely the smartest, but potentially the strongest person that I know is certainly in this group.
100%.
The short one. Got it.
Well, I mean, she ain't short. She's taller than me. Probably 5'6", 5'7", you know? Kind of tall, lean, androgynous, cute.
He gestures towards Salinger. And you've seen combat, definitely. I've not seen a hammer like yours.
He's since wrapped it back up. I don't tend to show it off unless I need to use it.
When you guys came into these mountains, what was your plan?
I was just trying to find him. I got that feeling, like you can't get settled when you're trying to sleep, and you just got to go out and walk, or, and it just... Then I heard there was a furbolg around, and there ain't that many furbolgs, even less around here than there were back in Sheps. So I figured it was a good gamble that it was a furbolg I knew.
I just kind of had a poll. Followed it, heard there might be some people that need help, and just kind of redirected to, see if anyone needed help.
I bumped into Sav and Mosrael, though, at Ikvar's Pass. And that felt like something clicking, like falling into place, like Like when you put a cracked plate back together, you know?
Merrick pauses in the sharpening of his sword and kind of cants it a bit to look down the edge, light reflecting from the fire on the metal. That brings up an interesting question I've been meaning to ask. Who's the leader of your group?
They don't have one.
Yeah, we all just kind of met recently. We're also just, I mean, those of us that know each other know how we all work, but others we're also getting used to or learning about one another. We know that we're all, kind of feeling the same vibes and kind of traveling the same direction. So we're just kind of figuring it out, working together.
Also, Mayor, if I may, who was the leader of your group? Weren't you all following that, that young man? And now what?
Spur, Kana, Squire, Caspian, Belt. They follow me. I'm the leader of their group.
Yes, sir.
We came here following what I can only describe as a dream, a boy's dream. Vesper. I get the impression from what you've said. You, some of you, experience much the same. Is that true? Visions of other places, people.
Yeah, seems to be the case.
Definitely thought they were just, regular dreams at first, though.
What have these dreams told you? Why are you here, risking your lives?
And tell me nothing. Just made me sad and upset, made me not want to sleep as much, and made me want to go west. Don't tell me anything.
Yeah, I've never really gotten anything from them. Nothing that I can ever remember concretely, at least. Flashes of images, people that I know, people that I don't, and but eventually, while I was awake, the imagery didn't last necessarily, but the sensation, the pull, stayed. And eventually, I felt like I had to follow it just to find out what was happening.
Vesper described something the same. The time traveling together. They'd proven time and time again. His intuitions or something I could trust. That's what led us here, into these mountains. I would not have imagined it would lead us to the boy's death. I am ostensibly a seeker of fortune. I ask you this. Do you plan to turn back now? Flee from these mountains, or do you have business more here?
I'm not going anywhere until I can find Talith, at least. And I don't know. Figure out the rest with Tim and Sav, and I guess the rest of you all.
Yeah, Peach will cut out eyes at Salinger and say, "Oh, I've been hopping from job to job and place to place, and ain't felt settled since I left Shep, so might as well keep moving. I'll go with whoever I know, and I know you all." And she'll nod to Salinger. "And finally, I've got a face from home."
Well, I will propose to you this. I care not to come into these mountains to leave empty-handed. You're seeking your friend. Answers to whatever led you here. My group and I will help you if you feel you need our help.
"I feel like you might need our help." She'll wink at Caspian.
He snores quietly and asleep. But I have conditions. Ancient places like this, undiscovered, there are, more than often, pieces of the old world. Trinkets, treasures. I need assurances that my people receive a share of what we find. Caspian, Squire, Belt. If we find a cache, something of worth, they take a share. It's the only
They
reason
pull their
for us.
weight.
It's the only reason for us to be here.
If they pull their weight, they'll get a share.
Heck, they can have my share if they want. Sure. If it's just payment y'all need, then great, join the party.
Enough.
Maybe
One
Peach
la-
is the leader.
One last point of order. In your dreams, have any of you encountered a woman with the face of an owl?
No.
It's new to
I think
me.
she may be the key.
I don't think so. Granted, I don't remember the details when I wake up, but I don't think I've seen that.
Wait. That sound familiar to you, Sal?
Face of an owl.
Not an owl face, but you remember? Come on, it wasn't that long ago.
It was an owl. I knew it was a bird.
It was always an owl, okay? It was always an owl because there's owls and wisdom, and our friend Ava, she used to wear a helmet like that because she had sensory issues, and it quieted everything down for her. So it's not an owl head; it's her hat, it's her helmet. She's one of our friends.
Described. You speak of the Owl Woman, and that's a name that I know. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Okay.
Wait, that was the name that was in a Leggy's pass. What?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Who?
that was
I always thought it was a short-nosed peregrine falcon.
You don't know your bird sound, Morel.
No, of course I knew that.
The irony is that her dump stat is wisdom.
Out of character. Peach, you got the subtlety of a wrecking ball.
Hey, shit gets done, okay? Shit gets said.
That
Yeah,
wrecking ball misses every time.
it has been 1 year since you last saw Peach. She is still very much the Peach you knew.
That's fair. Like, we don't know these people.
Peach hadn't matured. They're our new friends.
yeah. I feel like that's
You know him
that,
now. We had a whole conversation, okay? I know this Bax guy. He died and came back a couple of times. His eyes full of some constellations from a different planet, and he looks exactly like that asshole Silas. There you go. I know him perfect.
Guys go way back.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be that's an interesting and kind of bizarre thing to think about. Is Peach is like at this point like 19, I guess, if it's been a year, and so if Sal is now 30, the interactions just they've probably hit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Oh, they
without
very-
having grown in that same direction over time. It's
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Awkwardest high school reunion ever.
I feel like
It's like when you go back to your small town and nobody's changed, but literally.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, remember senior year last year?" And you're like, "That was not last year."
Peach is asking Sal to remember things that are like a lifetime and a whole different world ago. Like he's had a whole damn life since the thing. She's like, and yeah, I saw Ava like last year, of course. You don't what? You don't remember exactly everything?
I guess Chris, you probably you can't you won't say, but there are 2 owl women that I can remember.
Funny how that